So I'm Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman. I'm a pastor of a church here in Jefferson City, and I represent Missouri Faith Voices. We're a part of the group that had a part in what was going on 13 years ago and 2 years ago, and we have a great interest in what's going on with payday lending. We're a statewide faith-based organization representing over 300 congregations around the state, and we're primarily concerned with issues of economic dignity. As a clergy person, I just want to share with you my experience that I spend time every day in my ministry with people who are struggling with really serious struggles. And with increasing regularity, those struggles revolve around payday loans. Folks who got a short-term loan for $300 that has now turned into an unmanageable fight to stay afloat. So within just a few months, that $300 turns into thousands owed to multiple lenders. I've seen people in this struggle lose their cars, their homes, in some cases their kids, because they couldn't keep a safe, warm environment for them. And I've seen them lose their will to live. And I believe that that last statement bears some expanding upon. I've been called to the hospital to be with a person who was ready to attempt suicide because they couldn't find a way out of the desperation that began with a $300 loan. This is unconscionable. As people of faith, we believe that it's the duty of the government to protect its people and not the so-called financial institutions that prey on them. We reject the notion that any reform that doesn't cap interest rates at a reasonable and morally acceptable amount can be called reform at all. And I appreciate the amendment that you said was offered. I'm responding to the bill as we received it. So I'm responding to the idea that the 75% cap is being taken off. I don't know if you've ever thought about what 75% over 2 weeks is. It's 1,950% over a 1-year period of time. And I've read articles that say that we shouldn't look at it as an annual percentage rate because it's only a short-term loan. But I would challenge every one of you to go out and find somebody who's stuck in the payday loan trap and find any one of them who was able to get out of it in 1 year or less. For most people, it's a multi-year process that ends in financial ruin. So I'm here today on behalf of Missouri Faith Voices, on behalf of all those congregations, and on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of people who signed a petition in 2012 to ask that we cap payday loan rates at 36%. We believe that we can't do anything and call it reform if we don't cap it at that rate, but anything beyond that is usury. So we would ask you that you don't pass this bill unless you're going to pass it with an amendment that caps those rates at a reasonable and morally acceptable rate.
So you're telling me that you don't think any part of this bill is a step forward?
I think lots of
reform?
I think lots of parts of this bill is a step forward. I think there are wonderful parts of this bill, but what we're afraid of is people believing that the payday loan industry has been reformed and that it's going to save people from the trap that they're in when it's really not, because those interest rates that's the other thing that does it. It's not just the rollovers, and we know that people are going to sign those affidavits that say they don't have another loan, and they're going to have 5 other loans that they had to get to pay that one loan. It's not a good situation. It's not what people should do, but it's what desperate people do, and we should be protecting people.